morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of voice of radio. So today we got ourselves a new Pokémon V, and interestingly enough, we've been waiting for exactly one. And we've got ourselves the answer to a question we've had for a few weeks. So basically, lots of the questions we've had about Lost Origin are being answered, and I, for one, am absolutely delighted. Good. So let's start off talking about that Pokemon V. It's Galarian Berserker. Translations here? Well, myself and the lovely Antoine Boulet. This one I actually did myself, but then I checked with the lovely Antoine Boulet, so I don't know. That's where we are. So Galarian Berserker then, what have we got? Well, 200 HP is actually quite low for a Pokemon V, which is, shall we say, not an ideal situation, but we've got some nice attacks. Firstly, single colourless energy, draw 3 cards. How cool is that? Just a flat, no mucking about, draw 3 cards. And you know what? I'm down with it. That's cool. We don't usually see draw 3 cards on basic Pokemon. On evolved Pokemon or things of that nature. Yeah, fine, but not on basic Pokemon. We have seen it, but it's not, shall we say, an easy thing to see. Vaporeon V would be one where we did see it in the not too distant past. But this is still pretty nice. Plus, of course, this is on a colourless energy, which is also very nice. So you know what? Yeah, I'll say that, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite nice. It's not probably the reason we're playing the card. It's a handy bonus, alright? But it's still quite nice. The reason why we might be playing the card, though, is for the second attack. The main attack we're going to be using here. This attack does 20 damage for 1 metal, 1 colourless energy for each card in your hand. Love it. This is basically one of those cards where you kind of got to build the deck for it. You've got to really make it work. But if you can make it work, this is awesome. Of course, it reminds me, it's basically just a souped up version of the Indeedee from Battle Styles. And shout out to my friend Ian, who has been playing this lately and telling me that it's actually kind of fun. So, yeah. This is kind of what you do. You try and just ram your hand full of cards and then go absolutely nuts. If you're doing this, you are definitely going to need Milotic. Because if your opponent messes with your hand, it's over. But Dugong from Milotic, the one from Evolving Skies, says, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from your hand, prevent all effects of that card done to you or your hand. So supporter cards that would seek to get rid of your gigantic hand won't work when Milotic's on the field, which is extremely important. So we basically just try and draw as many cards as we possibly can. The Crobat line becomes weirdly good for this. And you have a Milotic to stop your opponent messing with your energy. And then just start hitting really good damage. I mean, Indeedee's 10 times and this is 20 times. So damage-wise, you're literally doing double Indeedee. Is it going to work? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. At least in the short term, we do have access to Metal Saucer, which will accelerate that extra energy that you need, which is rather lovely. Honestly, this is one I want to give a go. I am unsure as to how successful this is going to end up being, but oh my word, it is one that I absolutely want to try, because it looks like so much fun. So yeah, this one's a little bit specialized. It's not one of those ones like we looked at Drapion the other day and I was like, man, Drapion's broken. Drapion's like a ridiculous Mew counter. That's not where we are, alright? We are not at that stage. But as an interesting card that could make some waves, I like this one very much indeed. But the other day, I showed you, a couple of weeks ago now, I showed you the pre-release promos for Lost Origin. You buy the Build and Battle box, you get yourself the pre-release promos. And I showed you that there is a Finneon with Okacheke artwork, the first Okacheke card we've seen in a little while, and I told you that it had an ability that let you attach energy from either your hand or discard to any of your Pokemon with Swim freely. And I told you that it was probably from the discard, because that ability on a basic Pokemon would be a little bit probably too good. Well, the lovely Antoine Boulet and myself have both checked, and let's be clear, Antoine is way better at this than I am. Yeah, it turns out it is from your hand. Finneon says as often as you like during your turn, you may attach a water energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon that has the Swim Freely attack. This is legit, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely legit. Or is it? Because then we have to look and go, well, hang on a second, which Pokemon do we have with the Swim Freely attack? Well, we've got exactly 3. We've got Lumineon, as you might expect. We've got Seadra, not Kingdra. And we've got Dugong. Now, you can see that they've all got single energy attacks. And they've got uninspiring attacks. But do they have anything that makes us want to play it? Well, maybe. So, Seadra here, we've got, for 1 energy, Swim Freely, 10 damage, flip a coin if head to prevent all effective attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon, during your opponent's next turn. And this is good for nothing more than buying a turn. This will take a turn off from your opponent being mean to you, which is lovely, but it doesn't really do anything more than that. It's fine. But, for 1 water energy Hydro Shot, this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you attach 11 water energy, which yes I know is a lot, that then can hit 220 to your opponent's bench, and that means you can one-hit KO Pokemon V sitting on their bench. Now, 11 is a lot, I'll be honest with you. The reality is you're probably not going to hit 11, but you can still hit a decent amount of damage here, and that's what I'm getting a little bit excited about. Pile energy on, hit the bench, job's a good un, ladies and gentlemen, job's a good un. Now, we've also got ourselves Dugong. Now, again, it's got the same Swim Freely attack that does 10 damage and gives you immunity on a coin flip. It wasn't the reason we were getting excited about Seadra, and it's probably not the reason we're going to be getting excited about Dugong. But what we do have here is the attack Arctic Return. Shuffle any number of water energy from this Pokemon back into your deck. This attack does 40 damage for each energy that you shuffled back in this way. So here, the numbers are much smaller. If you get 6 energy, that's 240 damage, which is easily enough to KO Pokemon V. 7 energy, you're up to 280, and that's basically a one-hit KO on any Pokemon V-Star, which is clearly extremely relevant. So that's what we're going for here. You smash the energy on, and then you smash. Maybe it's hitting the bench with Seadra, maybe it's hitting the active with Dugong, but either way, you can make it work. Now, there is a Lumineon here as well, which also has Swim Freely. Can it take advantage as well as the other 2 can? Well, obviously, the first attack is Swim Freely. We know that, because, well, it's exactly the same as the other 2. And we can see that the second attack is just free energy 120. So no, we can get excited about Seadra, and we can get excited about Dugong, but I don't think we can get excited about Lumineon. I don't think Lumineon's good, which is really upsetting. I mean, Silver Lining, with weakness, you're getting a one-hit KO on Pokemon V, or with a Choice Bout and weakness, you're getting a one-hit KO on Pokemon V-Star. If that's what you're into, and it can be built up quite nicely. And look, there is a situation where I go second, and I evolve a Finneon into a Lumineon, and then I put another Finneon down, and attach free energy and hit for 120 going second, and start taking KOs on single prize Pokemon. That can happen, but this isn't terribly inspiring, and it's not something I'm getting particularly excited about. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But there is a core here, and it does make me very interested to think, are there going to be more of these in the future? I kind of hope there will be. I think it's a bit too energy hungry at the moment, and don't get me wrong, right? We've got some cards that'll really help. Obviously, we've got Capacious Bucket, which will search out 2 energy cards, which is brilliant. And we've got Nessa, that will get 4 energy cards, 4 water, from the discard back into our hand. So we've got ways of doing this. I'm just not sure we've got any attacks that are good enough. Yeah, sure, we've got the ability to pile energy on, but goodness me, we need to pile a lot of energy on to do it. And it seems rude at this stage if we talk about Seadra, but we don't talk about Kingdra. So even though Kingdra is not a swim freely Pokemon, still seems rude if we don't take a look at it here. So we got up to 150 HP, which is, you know, quite low, honestly, for a stage 2. And we got a pretty bad attack 2 energy, 130. Do remember what you can do is attach both those energy to a Seadra and then evolve into a Kingdra. It's still not a good attack, but it is at least an option. And we've got the ability Surging Current. Once during your turn, you may choose either you or your opponent. The player you choose shuffles their hand and puts it at the bottom of their deck and draws 4 cards. It's basically a one-sided Marnie. And you get to choose which side does it. And I adore this. Now, usual caveat, it's on a stage 2, it might not work, it's probably not techable, blah, blah, blah. It's actually a card I really like with Archie's Ace in the Hole, but, yeah, sorry. Point is, this is a potentially phenomenal ability, but it's stuck on a stage 2. Because I love the idea that anytime you think your opponent might have a good hand, do this. Also, please bear in mind that the cards go to the bottom of your opponent's deck, so they've got to, like, shuffle their deck before they've got any hope of even drawing them. And I also love the idea that if you've got a bad hand, don't worry your pretty little head about it, because all you need to do, use this ability, and you're good. New hand. Go team. Yeah. It's another one of those, you can file it with a billion others. It's a stage 2 Pokemon with a really good ability. And it's a stage 2 Pokemon, so for that reason it might not ever see any play. Boo, hiss, etc. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got lovely new Swim 3D Pokemon. We got a new Pokemon V, and I am very excited. But now it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about this. I want to know how excited you are. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWarcy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.